Morning, everyone. Today I'm going to discuss about metabolic disease and uh, why we are surrounding our myths about type 2 diabetes and how we can actually overcome this guesswork and focus on understanding our unique biology at a molecular cellular level, right? So we have a lot of these you know solutions going on which claim that we can reverse diabetes. You fall for fat diets, you go for high protein, low carb diets, ketosis, all these diets based on your CGM, based on your blood works, right? So all these claims that we can reverse diabetes, all obnoxious claims. So if you are focusing on suppressing your blood sugar level, the damage has already been done, right? And if your blood sugar level is high, probably your body has lost the ability to actually release enough insulin, or probably you are insulin intolerant, right? So we really need to understand what is going on inside our body, right? So what we have done is biological warfare, right? So when we take all these fat diets, it imbalance our overall gut microbiome. It leads to production of various toxins, neurotoxins in the bloodstream, which leads to inflammation, which disrupts insulin signaling, which reduces insulin sensitivity. Right? We have, creates a situation of pre-diabetes or type 2 diabetes, right? And then we fall for a lot of these drugs like PPIs, if you have low stomach acid, metformins, cholesterol-lowering medications, right? These all disrupt various biological processes. It disrupts your ability to produce vitamin D, testosterone level, even one of the most essential molecule, which is what we call is nitric oxide, right? It is essentially a gas which is produced inside our body every second, every 30 seconds, every minute, right? And this is nothing but two atoms, nitrogen plus oxygen, right? So we discussed this over last talk with Mr. Panda Singh on when we decoded the 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 myths about supplements, right? So this particular gas is released through two pathways. One is what we call is nitrogen oxide synthase, which is an enzyme. Other is your oral microbiome. So oral microbiome converts your nitrate into nitrite, which mixes with your stomach acid, and it's reduces nitric oxide, right? So if you are on PPIs, right, it's which reduces your stomach acid production. So essentially, you may not get this nitric oxide. And now, what is the role of this nitric oxide uh, in terms of regulating our metabolic health, right? So let us discuss this, right, at length. So whenever we are eating something, our microbiome predates the food, release, metabolize. These metabolites give signals to various microbes living in our gut and other body organs. Gut microbiome tells our pancreas to release insulin. Pancreas secretes insulin. It binds to various insulin receptors on different cell types. Basically, fat cells, liver cells, and muscle cells. This is where most of the glucose uptake happens, right? So there's a lot of this signaling happening, right? So this signaling, insulin signaling happening, which converge on NAS, what we call as nitrogen oxide synthase, right? So this particular enzyme is capable of producing nitric oxide, which is required for smoothing or regulating the insulin signaling and cellular communication, right? So if you again, nitric oxide is produced by NAS and by oral microbiome, right? Even one of your uh, endocrine hormone GLP-1 also improves your nitric oxide production, and GLP-1 is actually secreted by is a secretion product of acetate, which is a short chain fatty acid, which is produced by gut microbiome when they interact with a lot of foods high in fiber and immune resistant starch and a lot of these things, right? So essentially, so these are three ways where you can improve your nitric oxide production. But if your NAS is dysfunctional, or if your gut microbiome is imbalanced, right? If your oral microbiome is not working well because of a lot of these fat diets, right? So it disrupts your production of nitric oxide. Now there's no insulin signaling, disrupt the insulin signaling. So as a terminal uh, as a terminal step, so there's a protein called GLUT4, which actually signals and carries glucose from membrane to the cells, right? And if nitric oxide is not there, this communication is debarred, then you have, a lot of these glucose flowing in circulation, and then it gives a message to pancreas, hey, release, please release more insulin, and then and then this creates a situation of hyperinsulinemia. It makes you what, and makes you insulin intolerant, insulin resistant, right? And that's how you start developing at a cell level. Mechanistically, you start developing type 2 diabetes, right? So you have to focus on understanding, your biology at a cellular, at a molecular level. What is the nitric oxide production? What is the bitrate production? What is your GLP-1 secretion? What is PYC secretion? You know, how well your oral microbiome is producing, converting nitrate into nitrite, whether you have the right stomach acid or not, right? So few more things, which none of the players would, or none of the nutritional players would tell you that, mouthwash, right? Then mouthwash, depletes your oral microbiome, it imbalances your oral microbiome, then it reduces your ability to produce nitric oxide, right? So, even if you're having a good diet and everything, if you're taking mouthwashes or you're taking artificial sweeteners in various toothpaste, right? So it is going to disrupt your nitric oxide production. It is going to impact your insulin sensitivity. It is going to increase the risk of type 2 diabetes, right? So do not fall for these fad diets. Do not go for this quick fix solution, having supplements or protein, high protein diets, or maybe low carb diets, right? Understand your biology, whether your body is producing enough nitric oxide, enough GLP-1, PYY, enough bitrate, enough acetate, right? So we at GeneFit Ladies actually, decode uh, your biology at a molecular level. We can, based on 17 plus biological pathways, we can tell you your glycemic response to various foods even before you consume. So you can actually predict whether you're going towards or away from type 2 diabetes, right? So my only uh, suggestion to everyone is that understand your biology, take back control of your health in your own hands. Do not fall for these solutions which does not bear any scientific evidence. Uh, that's it for today. Have a great day. Thank you.